Councilmember Djou.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman and colleagues, speaking in strong support of both Bill 7 and Bill 8. Members and colleagues, we need to support this ban on tents and shopping carts in our city parks. Members and colleagues, there is a right way and a wrong way to handle this. There's a right way and a wrong way to handle our city parks and the issue of homelessness. With our city parks, the right way is for us to make sure that they are public parks and they remain open to all members of the public. The wrong way to deal with our city parks is to allow any group of individuals to treat our public parks as their private property. With homelessness, there's a right way and a wrong way to handle things too. The right way is to offer job and drug and mental health counseling paid for by the taxpayer. The right way is to have the city government and the taxpayers subsidize housing. But the wrong way to handle this issue is to give it to the Department of Parks and Recreation, who is ill-equipped to handle this. We need to address this problem of private parties squatting and occupying our public parks. We need to recognize that Waikiki is the heart of our tourist industry and tourism is the heart of our economy. We need to understand that if we do not address this issue, other communities around the world will address it for us, whether it be Mexico or the Caribbean or the South Pacific. We need to address homelessness in the right way. Yes, with compassion. Yes, with counseling. But not via the Department of Parks and Recreation. Mr. Chairman and colleagues, that is why it is so important we pass these measures to ban tents and shopping carts in our public parks. It is not going to fix all of the issues, but it will be a major step in the right direction. And for these reasons, I urge you and every member of this council to support Bill 7 and 8. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion, members. Councilmember Kim.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On terms of Bill 7 and 8, looking at it in terms of the purpose of the bill, it makes no mention of homeless. And so people are perceiving in terms of what the purpose of this bill is. I take at face value what it says. And then Bill 7 is regarding to tents. The purpose of the ordinance is to regulate tents in parks maintained by the city council. And Bill 8 regards to shopping carts. The purpose of this ordinance is to regulate shopping carts in the parks maintained by the city council. Both bills make no mention of homeless. This is not a homeless bill. I look upon it as a matter of what is permitted in the parks, a matter of health and safety, which is what basically all legislation is all about. Providing a safe environment for those who use the parks and on public land. The problems of homeless, if I may, is complex. I have homeless in my district, downtown Chinatown. Okay. It's so complex that no one understands it. No one individual, no one group. There are no realistic solutions at this time to end the problem of homeless. The homeless problem is related fundamentally to a voice poor economy and the need for social services. An outreach program needs to be established to understand why people are homeless. We have failed to do that when you think about it. Remedies and solutions to the homeless is through the collective effort of federal government, state government, and city government agencies. And yes, churches, nonprofits, and so forth. But when you ask anyone what their role is, they don't know. They substitute with piecemeal efforts. And I give them credit for that. But are we collectively working together? No, we're not. We all think that somebody else should be responsible for this. But truly, what we need is a plan of action. But first, to identify what the problems are. Have any of us talked to the homeless? Well, I have. I have taken a challenge to talk to the homeless. And they tell me why they're homeless. As I mentioned, maybe it's economically, or maybe they have depressed state of minds. But also, too, there are those who want to live in the streets. And it is their lifestyle. Do we tell anybody that they must sleep on a bed? Or, for example, in Japanese culture, Japan, which I visit, they sleep on the floor or on a mattress, right? So basically, we need to understand what the real problems are. We are all assuming what the problems are without truly understanding. We're at fault, quite frankly, in due respect to helping the homeless. Now, the question to the Honorable Police Department is a food for thought. I won't ask them this time to prolong the discussion. Is what type of enforcement are they going to do? When they go to the parks, and because we regulate the types of tents or the shopping carts, are they going to, what they call action? Are they going to arrest people? Are they going to warn people? What are they going to do? Basically. Okay, and that is has some questions that come from us. For now, I'm voting for the bills because matter of health and safety of what should be allowed in the parks, not on the basis of homeless. If you bring out the homeless, they're going to be charged by ACLE. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion, members? Councilman Mercy.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to, just to remain consistent, I'll be voting against both measures 7 and 8. Mr. Chairman, I've often said in previous discussions on these measures that I understand the proponents behind the two approaches. With respect to Waikiki, I know that the members have become familiar with several plans to polish up what we refer to as the crown jewel of our economic engine. I just heard a presentation actually yesterday where there will be a major redevelopment on the grounds of the Hilton Hawaiian Village. And so while we do all of what we can to make sure that our engine continues to drive our #1 economic return on investment, tourism, there is still the problem that we have in some of our parks. And so I've also said that Bills 7 and 8 are tools for those who want to address those problems. I just feel that we need to make sure that we have other tools in our toolbox to deal with the people who these communities, I feel, are targeted. I've had discussions with the director, and I understand that she continues to have these discussions along with the managing director and other agencies who are going to be tasked with dealing with these two measures should they become law. And I expect that the police will, when they're called to do their duty, they will do their job. I want to say something though, that the police, I feel comfortable that they will go about this in a humane manner. I see them in my previous capacity, and whenever they have to go out and do what is viewed as a most unpleasant task, that they really do go about doing this particular type of work with compassion and understanding, and actually with some knowledge too about how they go about doing this. As I understand it, the police have been schooled on a particular program dealing with homeless people who have mental health issues. And these are officers who have been trained, I believe, with people connected to the mental health courts in the judiciary. And so, I like to think that I will be seeing whenever the police go about doing their jobs with respect to bills 7 and 8, that they will be doing the job as best they can. This is not, as I say, pleasant work, but they'll be doing what they have to do. But they will do it because that's the law, but they'll be doing it with compassion. I am concerned, and I'll be following up with the director about the short-term efforts when Bills 7 and 8 should have passed this floor and signed into law is actually put into practice at our parks. And so I want to assure the members, should Bills 7 and 8 clear the floor today, that this council is not seen as completely heartless. As I did mention in my discussion with the director when she testified, that the members will have their opportunity later in the day be voting on a couple of measures that will deal with homeless issues in particular. And again, I'll be referencing Resolution 10-34. This is the Community Development Block Grant Program and the other two programs attached to it, and the 16th Year Action Plan that speaks to several projects that would deal with homelessness. in some capacity.